कृष्ण महाराज जी धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी,
जय राधा माधव जय बिहार,
गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे।
जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल।
निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव श्रीपाद, गुरुदेव श्रीपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव श्रीपाद, गुरुदेव श्रीपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव।
जय गुरुवरा शिला श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रपाद की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, गोपाल देव की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं,
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं,
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयम् उदीरये।
ततो जयम् उदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, Mother Parvati Kasa Chitraketu, text number 23. तथापि तच्छक्ति विसर्ग एषाम्
तथापि तच्छक्तिविसर्गयेषां
सुखाय दुःखाय हिताय
सुखाय दुःखाय हिताय
बन्धाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो
बन्धाय मोक्षाय च मृत्युजन्मनो
शरीराणां संसृतये अवकल्पते.
शरीराणां संसृतये अवकल्पते.
Translation: Although the Supreme Lord is unattached to our happiness and distress according to karma, and although no one is his enemy or favorite, he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material potency. Thus, for the continuation of the materialistic way of life, he creates happiness and distress, good fortune and bad, bondage and liberation, birth and death. Purport: Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate doer of everything, in his original transcendental existence, he is not responsible for the happiness and distress, or bondage and liberation of the conditioned souls. These are due to the results of the fruitive activities of the living entities within this material world. By the order of a judge, one person is released from jail and another is imprisoned, but the judge is not responsible for the distress and happiness of these different people is due to their own activities. Although government is ultimately the supreme authority, the justice is administered by the departments of the government, and the government is not responsible for the individual judgments. Therefore, the government is equal to all the citizens. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is neutral to everyone, but for the maintenance of law and order, his supreme government has various departments which control the activities of all the living entities. Another example given in this regard is that lilies open or close because of the sunshine, and thus the bumblebees enjoy or suffer. But the sunshine and the sun globe are not responsible for the happiness and distress of the bumblebee. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodara Swaminiti Namine Namah Sadbhaktamanaye Manipurdhavaya Cha Prabhupada Lasatwani Prachara Niratayate. Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. तथापि तच्छक्ति विसर्ग येषां सुखाय दुःखाय हिताय बंधाय मोक्षाय च मृत्यु जन्मनो शरीरिणां संसृतये अवकल्पते. Although the Supreme Lord is unattached to our happiness and distress according to karma, and although no one is his enemy or favorite, he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material potency. And thus, for the continuation of the materialistic way of life, he creates happiness and distress, good fortune and bad, bondage and liberation, birth and death. So Chitraketu is not making anyone responsible but for his own self. So first of all, his mistake was to ridicule a great personality like Lord Shiva. So he would have expressed in a different way to Lord Shiva, even if he wanted to tell something. But he made fun of Lord Shiva in the assembly. So therefore, Mother Parvati was personally present, and she had delivered the justice. Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. So all the activities in this world are carried away by the three modes of material nature. But deluded living being thinks that he is the doer. So therefore he takes pleasure when something works out successful, and he suffers because if something doesn't work out. So the cause of happiness and distress is because of the consciousness of the living being. Because this feeling happiness and distress, they are our fundamental states of consciousness. If we don't have them in our conscious states, no other external condition can create them. Feeling distressed and feeling jubilant, they do exist in the spiritual world too, because they are our fundamental. But in the spiritual world, they are experienced in the context of divinity, or in the context of bhakti, or in the context of love. So therefore, all the so-called distress and jubilation both lead to transcendental happiness. Because the foundation of those emotions is love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or the devotees. So the very facilities of becoming distressed and being jubilant are also incorporated in this world. But the foundation of those emotions is kama here. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So because these are the foundation of these emotions, ultimately both of them lead to misery. So that is a maya here. Though both jubilation and distress both lead to suffering only in this world. But Maya makes us think that when we are jubilant, we are happy. When we are distressed, we are unhappy. Like Prahlad Maharaj very nicely explains yesterday, little reading, that as soon as one starts acting for happiness, his suffering starts in this world. This is an amazing realization which misses our attention. So why is it so that as soon as we start preparations for being happy, for enjoying something, our suffering starts? Because the very foundation is kama. The foundation of kama is that it is guilt in the beginning, it is guilt in the middle, and it is guilt in the end. Right? Kama means one has to be selfish. And spirit soul, it cannot be happy by being selfish on the material platform. Being selfish to enjoy oneself. So as soon as one start preparation, even in the mind, right? So in this material world, one has to, in order to enjoy, one has to exploit others, other living entities, any type of enjoyment. And so therefore this guilt is there even in the beginning, and while enjoying also it is there, and after enjoyment also it is there. Oh, I have exploited these people, I have used them. So though the person may not express outside, these things linger inside. And another aspect is that any endeavor to mitigate suffering. So in this world, actually, enjoyment means to mitigate suffering, because it is full of suffering. Prahlad Maharaj again enlightens us that any endeavor to mitigate suffering is actually even more. It creates more suffering than the suffering for which the preparation has been undertaken. So the remedy is more painful than the disease problem. Remedy is more problematic than the problem. So in this way, the material world, there is actually only distress. But out of ignorance, we convince ourselves. Though we feel guilty, we convince ourselves that, okay, it is all right, I am happy, I am enjoying this, I am enjoying that. So this is the ignorance in this material. But of course, the conditions of jubilation and conditions of distress, they are created, they come in due course of time according to our karma, because those conditions must be created to pay for our activities, because it is in relationship with the other entities. So justice will be delivered in the form of karma phala. So as long as we continue work for ourselves, so we continue to engage in happiness and distress, and the so-called happiness is only very, very little time. So, but in all these activities, Srila Prabhupada is very excellently, wonderfully explaining, using the example of the government. The government is always neutral to all the citizens, but citizens are responsible for their happiness and distress. So similarly, the Lord has Yamaraj and other demigods who award punishment and rewards according to our activities. So the Lord is aloof. But whoever wants the Lord, whoever prays to the Lord, Lord will intervene. Anybody who approaches the Lord, he intervenes. Just like anybody who has got some punishment, he can approach the president for waiver. And president, he has his he has discretion. He can completely cancel. So in that way, president is also equal to everybody. So it is up to the individual whether to approach or not approach. So similarly, the Lord, anybody can approach the Lord, and Lord can intervene and rescue the individual. So therefore, the Lord is equal to everybody. But those who approach him out of love, he similarly reciprocates. So therefore, he is not partial. And it is not partial because it is open to everybody. If it is open for everybody, it is not partial. Anybody can approach. So in this way, the government is not responsible for happiness and distress, fortune and bad, bondage and liberation, birth and death, all these aspects. But all these so-called states of happiness, distress, fortune and misfortune, birth and death, they all cause unhappiness only. There is jubilation of birth, right? We celebrate birthday. What are the days that we celebrate most? Birthday, jubilation. But that very jubilation is beginning of our suffering in this human life. So in the childhood, there are so many sufferings that the child will not be able to tell the mother, and mother will not be able to know. Any suffering, they think the child is hungry. So feed him some milk or try to put him to sleep. But whatever pain he has, he is unable to express. Similarly, the death anyway is distressful. And the next great jubilation one celebrates is marriage. One spends all his money and once in a lifetime, right? So birthday, birth we are not active, we don't know how to celebrate. But marriage, we are very fully aware and grown up. So it's a big celebration of marriage. But the jubilation celebration is the beginning of another great suffering. So in this way, the very preparation of enjoyment is the beginning of great suffering in this material world. So, and it creates more and more bondage out of material affection. We create more and more layers around us, like Prahlad Maharaj describes, like the silkworm, it creates web around itself with the saliva that is coming out of itself, so thick that it cannot come out. By seeing saliva, it thinks, so it is very easy for me. It is very one thread. It is very, very weak and I am nothing for me. I will just make web around me. It is not a great deal to come out. So in this way, we also extend from our body, right? We make expansion of our body relations around us, expand our circle around us, expand our paraphernalia around us, and create this web, which we think is very easy. I will just anytime give up and go to, when I'm 50, I can very easily give up all these things, very easy. Because it's just only one child, two child, just only these relatives, just only this little job, just a little money. But all these together combine and form like a silk web from which the silkworm is unable to come out. So similarly, the living entity weaves web from his own, from oneself, and is unable to come out. And among these is this material affection, is the greatest bond. And it is not very easy to remain in this web, in this family life and execute devotional service. Because time and again, there will be conflict with devotion, devotional spirit and a family spirit. The demands of family and responsibility in devotional service, they are at odds on a daily basis. And one is apparently defeated on a daily basis. He will not be able to say no. He has to compromise. He has to oblige, deviate from the devotion, or settle for his less than his potential. what he can do, what he is supposed to do, what is expected from him to do. So on a daily basis, one is defeated. So it's very, very difficult in the family life. But the same affection is available at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, which we are unable to pick up, being fully in the illusion. That same affection is available from the Lord. So one is able to transfer those affections. The Lord indicates that I am the father, I am the mother, I am the guru, I am the grandsire, I am everything for you. So one is able to transfer such a identity towards the Lord and his devotees. So they are able to cross over because this family affection is not so easy to give up. And it is very easy to give up the affection for the Vaishnavas. Very simple. Because we have nothing to do with them. Because we don't feel very attached to the Vaishnavas because of our bodily absorption. We don't think that they are our people. No remorse to give up the association of the Vaishnavas or the relationship with the Vaishnava for want of so many things, position, money, or enjoyment, followers, prestige. Very easy. We very easily give up the relationship with the Vaishnavas, which shows where our heart is rooted. Our heart is rooted where? In the matter, in the temporary. The Lord is giving us the opportunity enter into the eternity, but we are unable. The greatest impediment is his affection. Right? These pictures of our close body relationships, they always move in our heart. And among them, the wife or husband is the most dear. And then children, their broken language, broken words. This is Prahlad Maharaj at the age of 5 is speaking to his schoolmates. Such is the mercy of Vaishnava like Narada Muni. And Narada Muni was so affectionate to Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj also so much affectionate to Narada Muni that he never compromised. He never compromised for any of these things, right? If you see, happiness, distress, good fortune, bad fortune, bondage and liberation, birth and death. In all these conditions, he remained loyal to Narada Muni. He never deviated from what Narada Muni had taught him. His father, he gave him a lot of distress. As a king child, he was in a happy condition. Still, he did not give it up. He was put in distress condition by his father. He did not give it up. He had good fortune, bad fortune. He was in bondage. And finally, Narasimha offered him liberation. Then said, my lord, I am sorry because I am not a selfish transcendentalist. Selfish transcendentalist. I have my duty to my spiritual master, Narada Muni. That is highest for me. And I have service to him to deliver. Just like he delivered me, I have responsibility on my head to render him service by delivering so many people. By giving this knowledge which I got from my Guru, Srila Narada Muni, to everybody. To these demoniac people. Very, very difficult. This position I got very It's a very great opportunity. So in all these conditions, bondage, liberation, suffering, happiness, fortune, misfortune, right? He's always holding on to the lotus feet of Srila Narada and the Lord. And he experienced both. He experienced the affection of both Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu. Right? Hiranyakashipu also embraced him out of affection and made him sit on the lap. And Narasimhadev also embraced Prahlad Maharaj and made him sit on the lap. So Narasimhadev and is
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
Hare Krishna. So Hiranyakashipu also made him sit on the lap out of affection. He embraced him. And for Hiranyakashipu also tears coming. And then he asked, my dear Prahlad, according to you, what you have learned from your teachers, what is the best thing you have learned? What is the best subject matter you have learned? And Prahlad Maharaj immediately said that the family life is the greatest suffering because it does not allow the devotional service to the Narayan. And then his father was very angry. But Prahlad Maharaj was unmoved. Unmoved. So, if one can be like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Many of our family members, they also become angry because we are not caring them, we are not giving time, or we are not, right? There's so material affection, and it is natural to feel affection towards them. But one should know what is the value, what is the position, because it is just temporary, any time. And the nature of this material affection is that as soon as we don't oblige, it becomes wrath. It becomes angry, cause of angry, and it goes to any level. Here we see Hiranyakashipu. As soon as Prahlad did not act in a way that he's expecting, he became the target. So similarly, there is the same in the material affection. As soon as one doesn't act in a way that is expected by his close associate, he will be the target of their wrath, and there will be so many tantrams, there is so many dramas, and so much suffering. That is the nature of the material affection. We have to understand, because we are rooted not in this affection. We are rooted in our own material enjoyment. These affections, relations, these are only a means to fulfill that material lust. So therefore, those who are on the platform of material lust, these relationships are broken anytime, as soon as their lust is not fulfilled. Kama. One's personal interests are not served, one becomes an enemy. And same we see, when our self-interests are not fulfilled, we become inimical even to the Vaishnavas. That That are the moments that define our state. What do we value? Where is our consciousness fixed? Where our consciousness is rooted? So here Chitraketu, though he has come under some temporary spell due to the arrangement of the Lord, he immediately realized that Lord Shiva is such a great Vaishnava and Mother Parvati is Vaishnavi. So therefore, he accepted whatever Mother Parvati has offered. So one should be able to, he did not, if he wanted, he could have rejected and kept his position as the king of the Vidyadharas. But rather he chose to be obedient to the Vaishnavas. So therefore, that is that it shows where one's consciousness is rooted. He accepted for the pleasure of the Lord. Right? We should think Guru and Krishna whenever we act, what they will feel, what they are feeling about me in the direction I am proceeding in this situation. So if one doesn't have that thinking, then one's existence in matter will continue, because he's driven by his six enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. So this whatever we are experiencing here is only a reflection, perverted reflection of our divine existence. So therefore, we should free ourselves from this perversion and transfer back to our original image. That is our divine position, to serve the divine. So in this way we can learn from Chitraketu that the greatest boon, the greatest fortune of Chitraketu is that he accepted the chastisement of Mother Parvati. So that is the cause of his greatest fortune. Hare Krishna. Any question, please come forward. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Sanatana Goswami Prabhuji.
Our Achit Prabhu is having a question. Achit Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad.
Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji.
Maharaj, this in this episode of Chitraketu, that this Chitraketu already had darshan of Lord Anantesh,
Right.
and then he was advised to stay again in this, because if means he's already liberated, and then like question is here that why Anantadev did not took him to with him. This whole process for millions of years he was in this material world with whatever he was doing, and then this process of being cursed, and then he is being killed, and then he is being taken back. Another point is that also that is there, like in case of, if you see the Prahlad Maharaj, that Prahlad Maharaj, he got Agyat Swikriti in his we can tell previous life or when, we don't know, because he was fasting on Narsim Chaturdasi, so he got as birth as a Prahlad Maharaj. And then, so this Chitraketu also was like he was in Agyat Swikriti that he had, and then he had darshan, and then he has to do some more devotional activity consciously, means this means agyat svikriti, then we have to cultivate the gyat svikriti to become qualified to go back to Godhead. Is it like that, or if you can elaborate a little bit on this kind of the process of, because many times devotees are taken directly, many times they have to stay back and do some more activity. It's if you can explain this one.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, Agnat Sukriti, though the factor of Agnat Sukriti is there, it is the mercy of the devotees that one gets their association, causeless mercy of the devotee. Right? Like Narada Muni has no business, he can just sit in the Brahmalok and then just sing the Lord glories. He doesn't need to come onto that planet. How much ever Sukriti you may do, you will get, for pious activity, you will get pious results. But pious activities only create favorable condition, but not, it is not the price to get the association of the devotee. Because association of the associates of the Lord, it cannot be compared with anything in this world, including liberation. So, nothing can weigh, nothing can be equal to the association of the value of association of a pure devotee of the Lord. Then how can we buy the association of a pure devotee? By this Agnana Sukriti. Of course, Agnana Sukriti helps us for a favorable condition, but it is the unlimited mercy of the Lord and the devotees. So this is number one. Number two, liberation is one thing, and the devotion to the Lord is another thing. Right? Many times, many places in the scriptures it is written, if you just do this, liberation. If you just do this, liberation. So liberation is not that difficult. But to be Krishna conscious, to attain to the consciousness where we can live with the Lord, right? To attain what consciousness we need to live with the Lord, we need the consciousness like Mother Yashoda, love for the Lord. We need consciousness like Arjuna. We need consciousness like the cowherd boys. We need the consciousness like gopis. Means that loving affection to the Lord, that is another thing. Is another. So, seeing the Lord automatically guarantees liberation. But it is not the liberation, neither the Lord nor the devotees are interested. They are interested in loving devotional service to the Lord. So therefore, Lord has probably, this is what I think, that he left him so that he can improve that devotion to the Lord. He already has a devotion, but he wants the concentrated devotion. Just like Narada Muni himself also, the Lord appeared and then disappeared. That this Lord's darshan, it is like a, sample, right? When you go to a sweet shop, they by force they give us, okay, please take this, please taste this little bit, because by tasting that little bit, you will buy the whole thing. So similarly, the darshan of the Lord to the devotees is to create hankering to get the whole. They got something. By giving that something, the Lord, he gives his darshan, so that by that darshan, the devotee becomes mad after the Lord, to get the Lord somehow. He becomes, his eagerness to get the Lord increases, and that brings him quickly to the pure devotional platform. So therefore, Chitraketu, it is not any Agnana Sukriti, it is unlimited mercy of the devotees, sadhus, and Krishna, by which one gets the fortune of association of the Supreme Personality Godhead and association of the sadhus, association of the associate of the Lord. So we cannot think any Sukriti can buy Not sufficient to buy. We cannot even compare. That's what Bhagavatam says. Then how can we buy without paying the price? So there is no price to buy the association of the pure devotees. The only reason is their causeless mercy. So the reason to leave behind is to concentrate the devotional service so that he will be constantly able to remain with the Lord. Right? Can we also stay with the for example, Guru Maharaj is there. It's not possible to stay very close. It's very, very hot to stay close. Because unless we have that loving attitude, very difficult. Because we have such a great false ego, such abhiman. They all have covered our real loving devotional service. So therefore, we need some more time to remain close. Right? Even with Guru Maharaj, we have experience, right? You stay continuously for 1 week, 15 days, it becomes hot, because our abhiman is so much is there. But one who is very loving, it is very, very cool. Very, very cool. We will never like to leave the association of the spiritual master or association of the Vaishnavas. But because we have such a great abhiman, so we make a visit to the spiritual master, and then we make a visit to the Vaishnavas, and we keep them at distance because our abhiman, our material happiness, prestige, these are all affected, and they all have taken over our devotional attitude, and we are struggling to overcome them. So that is our situation. So the Lord, even after having the darshan of the Lord sometimes leaves the devotee to increase the devotion to Him, to concentrate, so that we can live with the Lord, become eligible to live with the Lord in the close vicinity as the Lord wants and we want. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. If anything left, please ask.
Okay, Maharaj. I have to think on your answer.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Because a long question. And
Think why we are running away from devotional service, why we are running away from Krishna, why we are running away from Guru, why we are running away from the authority. We lack that loving attitude, devotional attitude.
so here, Maharaj, you are telling that liberation is there. So
Yes.
this misliberation does not mean that the person is the living person is transferred to the spiritual platform, spiritual world.
Yeah, because liberation can also be Brahmajyoti liberation.
No, Brahmajyoti is a separate thing. If person has that kind of conception that if person
But the kind of liberation avoided with without having devotion to the Lord sufficiently is that only.
Means even though if someone is doing pious activity following karma kanda, and if he is doing such, then he will be transferred to the Brahmajyoti. Because karma kanda also tells
Pious activities will not liberate oneself. Pious activities will get birth in the heavenly planets. Who said pious activities will liberate? That's why the yogis, they leave everything and go to Himalayas. No pious, no impious. Just absorb in Brahman conception. Pious, impious activities, both are binding.
but okay, means such activity which gives liberation, but there is no devotion, then the person is getting transferred to Brahmajyoti. But then person has to come back again, because this is only temporary. Brahmajyoti is not
right. Not temporary. We cannot, not exactly temporary. It is It is very, very long, long temporary. Very, very long. It's very, very long time. So almost permanent, but not permanent. So if one wants the association, close association with the Lord, or the devotee is close to the Lord, one has to develop pure devotional service.
Ajay,
Yeah.
if
Any other questions?
my one thing, Maharaj, suppose that whoever is practicing Krishna consciousness, okay, and then it happens, it is a technical question, if you can, it happens that the time has ended for this universe, okay, and then
What is that?
means
What is the universe?
there is a time scale for every universe, no? Means like it is a 100 year of
Okay.
Brahma. So those who are practicing, but his devotion is not yet completed up to that platform, he can stay with the Lord. So what will happen to those living entity? Because neither they are fully in material atmosphere and consciousness, neither fully in spiritual consciousness. It is like in between. And neither they are in Brahmajyoti place. Because Brahmajyoti is something, if person has developed at least even 1%, that Krishna is a person, that we cannot call them they are Brahmavadi or Mayavadi.
Right. Such a person will get birth in the house of a Vaishnava.
No, I'm telling when universe is annihilated, when next universe will come, then it will happen. Means for the time being.
Then he will go inside the body of the Lord along with all the living beings. And again come back with all other living beings, all the souls.
Unmanifested state, Maharaj.
Prabhuji?
Is it unmanifested state or avyakta rupa?
How does it matter whatever state it is? You go into the body of the Lord and you come out into this universe again. So please see any other questions are there.
Thank you.
Please meditate, Prabhuji. You can ask other devotees in other classes. They will be more knowledgeable and they can tell more. For now, we'll see any other questions are there.
Hare Krishna, Govind Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna, Dalot Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Dalot Maharaj. Maharaj, in continuation to yesterday's shloka, where Krishna is establishing, or Chitraketu Maharaj is establishing Krishna's equality principle. And,
yes, Maharaj.
in today's Krishna is described as being very unattached, very aloof from the duality of karma and happiness, distress, good fortune and bad fortune, this duality, bondage and liberation. So Krishna, on one side, trying to establish the equal. From his point of view, from his absolute, Krishna is only absolute vision. He doesn't have the duality vision. But at the same time, he has created many variegated things, and which give the shape of duality from our point of view. So how the apparent and real is so different here. How we help Krishna or try to understand Krishna is equal to everyone, and at the same time he is partial to his devotees, those who are devoted to him. So his equality towards all the living entities, on what principle that equality can be established and appreciated? Because apparently so much partiality is only observed all around. On what count? What is that principle from which Krishna is establishing his position as equal to all? Even when he is dealing or rewarding differently to his devotees, and he is establishing him as Bhakta Vatsala, and he is not celebrated as any other Vatsala like Jnani Vatsala or Karmi Vatsala or any other Vatsala. How this is Vatsalta, does it conflict with his promise, or that he is equal to everybody, or it is in agreement with that promise?
Hare Krishna. No, he is open to everybody. Even the Gnanis can get Vatsalata of the Lord anytime, but they have no interest. Devotees have interest, that's why the Lord is giving. So, the Lord is available for everybody equally, and one has to claim the Lord, the mercy of the Lord. Just like ration, right? It is available. One has to go and claim. If one is not interested, he won't get it. But the government is equal to everybody. So, the Lord has made himself available equally to everybody. If somebody doesn't claim the Lord's mercy, that it is not Lord's responsibility, because the Lord has given independence to everybody. So, he is respecting everyone's independence. Even in the case of himself, even in the case of his mercy or aversion, in both cases, he is equal. So, means he has made available to everybody. In fact, he is already in the heart of every living being. Even if the Jnanis doesn't want affection, he is showing affection incognito already from within the heart. Suhurdam sarva bhutanam. So from his side, it is always on, but it is only that they are not claiming from the other side. Our quota of ration has already arrived in our local store, government ration shop, but we are not claiming what the government will do. But the government respects our decision. The government respects our free will. We have freedom as a citizen. So, the Lord is Vatsala to everybody, but only devotees claim it, so it is visible. But otherwise, the Lord is Vatsala to everybody. Suhrudam sarvabhutana. Gnatva mam shantim rachyati. They are not realizing it. Lord is equally affectionate to everybody. But those who claim it, it grows. It grows. The relationship grows, because the relationship is not a one-sided business. A relationship is a two-way business, two-way interaction. So, the very fact that Lord is open for everybody, that is the indication, that is the proof that he is equal to everybody. Right? Somebody who is in a higher position, sometimes he is open to only few people, those who are on his party or his side, but he is not open to other people. If they come for favor, he is reserved. That is partiality. But the Lord is open to everybody. Anybody can come and claim favor from the Lord, ask the favor from the Lord. And the Lord is ready to extend. Anybody can become a devotee. So, there is no partiality in who Lord accepts as a devotee or doesn't accept. So, from that sense, it is clear that Lord is equal to everybody. Because whether he is a demon or demigod or a human being or even an animal, like we have seen in the Gajendra Moksha. Lord didn't say, oh, you are an animal, no, I won't come. Lord is not partial. Anybody who claim the mercy of the Lord responds equally. So it is up to us to claim how much we want to get, because it involves the free will, our free will also, and Lord respects each one of us free will equally. Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
Yeah, most beautiful answer. But the little doubt remains is Lord Brahma has his doubt. Where he says that, it's a great amazement, astonishment for him that Krishna is although equal, but he cannot remain neutral. When it comes to deal with his devotees or for the sake of his devotees, he acts sometimes like a heat, sometimes like very welcoming.
Yeah, it is
So this,
like only, but
so
it is
this
not.
astonishment.
It is only apparent, because such a situation to become devotee is available for everybody. The others can also claim, you can also become devotee. So therefore there is no partiality. But it appears by seeing only that snapshot of that incident. Oh, it appears that he is favoring the devotees. But if you see the background, that the Lord has given this option to everybody to become a devotee, everybody to claim his mercy, everybody to take his help. So when the devotee is taking help, he's saying, I will help anybody who wants help from me. But devotees are wanting help from him. So thinking that if I help them, it looks like not favoring, that actually is favoring, or no, the partiality, because he has promised to anybody who comes to him, he will help. But now when devotees come to him for help, if he doesn't help, that is partiality. Some people he is helping who are approaching, some people who are not, who is not helping who are approaching. So if we see only in a short window, it appears like he is favoring, but actually Lord has no favor, because absolutely anybody can become the devotee, and Lord is equally eager to accept devotional service. But it is only how much we claim. 20 kg ration, somebody is claiming 20 kg, somebody is claiming 10 kg, somebody claiming only 1 kg. So like that, how much we want the Lord is fully available. So, but one sees only the snapshot of that scene, it appears that Lord is favoring, but it is that act of favor, that seemingly partiality is actually an act of impartiality, which he has promised that anyone who approach me, I will help. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tadaiva bhajamyaham. In how much you want him, that much you will help. So the ball is in the court of the person who is wanting. How much one wants the Lord. We can see the example of both Duryodhana and Arjun. Both went for the help of the Lord. But Lord is helping them accordingly how much they want him. It is very clear. The first option is given to Duryodhana only. Right? One may say Lord is impartial. People may say Lord is partial. Right? Or I see. Actually, he first gave to Arjuna only, but Duryodhana was very happy to get the army. What I will do with Krishna, who doesn't fight? But Arjuna, I want Krishna, whatever it may be. So that is the difference. Duryodhana only wants Krishna's help, but Arjuna wants Krishna wholesale. Whole Krishna. So therefore, accordingly, yathamam prapadyanti tam tadaiva bhajamyaham. So therefore, there is no partiality. How much you want, that much you can take, and you can take me entirely. That is open for everybody. So therefore, Lord Brahma's saying is he appears to be partial because actually he is not partial, because that is open to everybody. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, so even when Krishna very openly shows his partiality in breaking his rules and favoring his devotees, and apparently negating or unfavoring the other people, but his nature is the Suri that you mentioned, that he's also doing them the favor ultimately from absolute point of view.
Yes, Maharaj.
Isn't it? Can we say that?
Yes,
That,
Maharaj.
from his point of Suridam Sarva Bhutana, although Krishna openly violates all the principles and showing very open partiality, but the effect on other party apparently they are also benefited.
Positive.
Ultimately.
Yes, yes,
Positive.
Maharaj.
One more thing, if you allow me to say.
Yes, Maharaj. This is our moderator Prabhuji who has to allow.
Oh,
I am just another audience.
Actually, Maharaj, you asked the question yesterday, so we just wanted to hear from you today. So that's wonderful. These two slokas, 22 and 23, they say a lot. One thing just to magnify our understanding of this principle, there are 2-3 examples given in the scriptures. The Lord's being equal to everyone is compared to the cloud. Cloud showers rain equally, as if. Then to the kalpa vriksha, to the wish fulfilling tree. If anybody who approaches the kalpa vriksha, he attains the benefit or whatever. But if kalpa vriksha is asked to do something horrible, kalpa vriksha will do it also. So that's the danger. But Krishna is special. Krishna is more than the kalpa vriksha. He becomes attached to his devotees, attached to one who approaches him, and he purifies him and also becomes concerned about him. The kalpa vriksha is not concerned. That's why Krishna's equality principle is ruled by his Suhridam. He's really concerned about everybody's well-being. And when people talk about equality, the example of Krishna providing a ton for the elephant and just a grain for the ant, is it equal? People have that kind of vision. Oh, like the communists, so say everybody should get only this much quota. But the need of the different people is different. That's why Krishna in today's sloka is very wonderful. Krishna is creating all the facilitators. So Krishna is facilitating everybody according to what they really need to do good to them. So from that point of view, we can appreciate Krishna's even partiality. It is really in time and place. Perfect. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yes, our Shyam Kishore Prabhuji is having a question. Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
Dandavat pranam, Shyam Prabhuji. Navadip Dham ki jai ho. Yes, Prabhuji.
I had one small question and one thought which I wanted to share. So the question I would like to put first, and then if time permits or the moderator allows, then the thought also I would like to share. So the question is, as it is mentioned in the translation, as per the verse, the Lord creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material potency. So my question is, for this material creation, these pious and impious activities the Lord creates is basically for the living entity. So he does pious activities, and then so he can later then gradually he can transcend to Suddha Sattva, like he stays in the mode of goodness by doing pious activities. And if he does impious activities, there is definitely the resultant action. Impious means all hellish activities.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, but the pious activities doesn't guarantee us to bhakti. It creates a favorable condition where we can receive the mercy of the Vaishnavas easily.
Yes. Very nice.
Because in the word of passion ignorance, they give us their blood to transform us, but because of our passion, we don't transform ourselves. We don't take full advantage their mercy. Yeah, please continue, Prabhuji.
So anyway, it is beneficial to be a pious person.
Yeah, pious person is always beneficial to us and to others. At least temporarily it appears to be we are peaceful and those who are around us are peaceful. At least temporarily superficial.
Okay, thank you. And can I share my thought?
Yeah, please share. Is our moderator Prabhuji who has to allow?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. I will try to quickly finish. Now, as per explained by Maharaj in the class that because maximum of the population is in the Grihastha ashram or Grihemedi ashram. So for advancing spiritually to a higher level, one has to be free when he goes forward in the midlife, in the person's midlife. He has to be free from family responsibilities and be renounced from that, so that he can devote more time for devotional activities and direct service he can do. So as per that is very much required for every Grihastha and Grimedi as they turn near 50 and then further. But my thinking or feeling is that according to our scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, it is said that, O son of Bharat, people who belong to godly men and don't be divine nature, they should possess these qualities like some of them to mention, like cultivation of spiritual knowledge, self-control, austerity, simplicity, truthfulness, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, modesty, steady determination, forgiveness, passion for honor. So I think these qualities which are mentioned are very much expected by renounced person or the people in the renowned society or the monks, like. So if other persons like in the other ashramas, if they want to be renounced, they very much expect to others like the monks or the sadhus or the sannyasis, and then they to behave very exemplary. Means they should possess more of these qualities because they don't have families and take responsibility on others. So they should possess more of these qualities so they can be exemplary and for others. And because now in Kali Yuga, in this situation, we see so many sadhus, bogus gurus. Recently happened from Gujarat, from the north, from Odisha. These sadhus get being caught by the police and put in the jail, and then everything revealed, this and that. So generally, people they have this thinking that the sadhus are also doing the same materialistic and all the sense gratification. So what is the difference? I am better in being in a grihastha or Grihemedi life. I'm at least going according to the family life principles. So that's what my thinking is, that we as sadhus and monks, we have to be very exemplary to the other ashramas, so they can be slowly they can develop that renounced mood, and then slowly then completely devote themselves for the service of Guru and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Yes, the renounced order is highest order in social orders. So they should be exemplary, but in sannyas order also there are different levels, and That is also progress, work in progress. But all these people, all these orders, we are all still here in the material world, which means we don't have the full devotion to the Lord. So we are all in journey, and everyone is fallible in this material world. So we should be mindful of that, but that doesn't reduce anyway the position of a person who is in the renounced order of life, because he has taken that step, right? So I cannot even compare with such person, right? It is like the non-devotees. Sometimes devotees, they become devotees and they again fall down. So they laugh at them, thinking that what is the use? But they are nowhere near the devotee who has fallen down. Because they have not even tried. And the devotee who has fallen down, though he may fall down, his journey is further progress towards divinity, where the person who is outside, he is only further degrading. So he cannot, only a foolish person will compare himself to a devotee who tried everything and fall down. No way near to him actually. So similarly, one who has taken to sannyas, nowhere near, he's actually a guide to all other ashramas. And our general tendency should be that everybody else is better than me. So we should reduce this judging tendency about others, especially to sannyasis who are already above us, in the ashram, which is already established, like king and the citizen. King also sometimes make some mistakes, because everybody is fallible in this world. But that doesn't make any citizen to laugh at him or criticize him. So one who is in the higher status, though they may commit sometimes mistakes, we should still maintain our respect for them, because we are nowhere near. We have still are unable to take that step that they have taken. So in general, we should not try to judge others unless we are in a position, we are given the responsibility, such responsibility where we have to judge others. Otherwise, that will become a great detrimental in our devotional path. So our general tendency should be that everyone is better than me, even if they make mistakes, but still I am nowhere near them. So this is how we should proceed. And there are other people who are just cheating. They are taking the dress of a sadhu just to cheat people like a business. But that is completely different category, but that is not in our category. At least that much is not there. We are not here to make a business, because we have left our lucrative business jobs and came here. We don't need again to pursue that money, all those things again. So generally in our Krishna consciousness, most of us, there are still some people may be there, by seeing the devotees they join, and then from the very beginning they are in that line only. That we can very easily see. But each one of us are mostly trying sincerely to become devotees, but struggling with our shortcomings. So each one of us are struggling. So we should not unnecessarily judge everybody unless we are in the position to judge. Otherwise, we will be judged by the Lord. What is your situation? How much you are doing? How much sadhana you are doing? You are daring to judge somebody. So this is what we hear, no? We should not judge others. Otherwise we will be judged. We will be put under trial by the Lord. Those who judge others, they will be judged. Those who judge others unnecessarily. So the people, as far as the general people are concerned, so that's why sadhus, they travel, so that they also see genuine sadhus. But people, because they like Gramya Katha, they like these cheaters more than the real sadhus. Because cheaters, they take money and give all the sense gratification. But sadhus, they ask to give up sense gratification. So therefore, they don't like sadhu. Sadhu asks to leave many things that are dear to us. So the people are also like, they are also fault on their part also. Like the political leaders, no, they elect such leaders who give them sense gratification, right? Many people protest, oh, if everybody becomes sadhu, who will take care of this? What will happen to the society, right? That shows the general tendency of the people towards the sadhu. Sadhu, everybody cannot become sadhu, right? It is like saying, if everybody become a military man, what will happen to the society? Everybody will not become, cannot become, and it is not required to become. But it should be promoted to join the military. So we cannot stop the promotion itself. But people themselves are corrupt. So therefore, they first take shelter of a cheating sadhu, so that they allow their sense gratification, and then later complain. So there is fault from the people's side also. So therefore, the genuine sadhus, they should also travel, preach, so that they know what is a sadhu is. Enlighten what is sadhu. Sadhu is not one who allows whatever sense gratification we want. Sadhu is one who cuts our sense gratification. And if we are not also sincere, what will happen? The wrath will come on the sadhu. We show wrath on the sadhu because he stopped my sense gratification. He stopped me my advancements in sense gratification. So it is a great complicated situation. It has to be, we have to be sincere. Those who are in the devotional path, we should not judge others. We should not judge those who are superior to us. If somebody is superior to us, we should never think. One could be superior in age, one could be superior in position, one could be superior in ashram. If somebody is in any of these, we should not dare to judge, if we are interested for our spiritual progress. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaji. Maybe we can conclude.
Actually, my thought was not in expressing that devotees should judge others. My thought was to just say that, as in Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, 1 to 3 shloka, it is written that the qualities of a man with godly nature. So these qualities, as a monk, we should have more acquired compassion for all living entities. Another thing.
These are expected from everybody, all the devotees. And these are godly people. They are not yet become transcendental. They're godly. They are becoming God, means they are becoming fully godly in the journey. And these are not only for sannyasis nor brahmacharis. These are for all ashramas. Godly.
Okay.
These are for everybody.
Yes.
Like Arjuna, he is also a godly person. He is trying to be, he is a devotee in the Grihastha ashram first. So he is also a godly person. So whether one is in brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanapastra, sannyasa ashram, we are all trying to be devotees. We are not a devotee. So therefore, whoever is trying to be a devotee is godly. And Krishna is giving these qualities so that we godly people, we should cultivate these qualities fully. We have some level, but we should cultivate them to a good percentage. We should not fail 90% of the times to exhibit these qualities. So godly people means all the devotees. Whoever is in the devotional path, they are all godly. But people only think those who are wearing saffron robes, they are godly. But that is not true. Everyone is a practicing devotee, is a godly person. And Krishna says, you are born with divine qualities to Arjuna. Right? So therefore, these are expected. And now you are acting in another way. So you should better act in the way you are supposed to act. So Krishna is giving us a target or goal, how each one of us should act. But sannyasi should be very careful. Brahmachari also for that matter. Because the general people doesn't know who is a sannyasi, who is a brahmachari. Who is wearing red, they think they are all sannyasis. Sadhus. So they should be extra careful and extra diligent and extra tolerant, because one is in the position of teaching others. Brahmachari, sannyasi, there is no much difference. They're almost the same. But within themselves, there is hierarchy. But for the outside world, brahmachari, sannyasi, almost close. Because they wear this saffron color. They look for, they don't know. They think same. Swami, Swami, everybody is Swamiji also sometimes. They don't know the difference. So those who are wearing this saffron dress, for that matter, whoever is putting a tilak, people, they think these are Hare Krishna people. As soon as one wear tilak, is a sadhu. So therefore, the other one is brahmachari, vanaprastha, grihastha, sannyasi. As soon as we wear khanti and tilak, we are declaring we are sadhu. Godly, are trying to be devotee. So people think we are sadhus. They don't know that we are practicing sadhus. They think we are advanced sadhus. That is a big problem. So we have to be extra careful to be exemplary. Everybody, every devotee should be exemplary so that others get inspired to take the devotional path. We should be kind. We should give up our material possessions. We help others. We stand with them. We bring them to different level. So it is for everybody, especially for the monks and especially for sannyas. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for your wonderful point.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Maharaj, we can finish for the day.
Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Here we are supposed to get Tufan this time. Please pray that we are all safe here in Kolkata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Srila Shripad ki jai.
Jai.
Samasta Bhakta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
His all in respect, Sir Vaishnava Maharaj ki jai. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.